shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light in this world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. I am, here we go. I am the light, I am the light, I am the light in this world. I am the light, I am the light, I am the light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
Absolutely wonderful. Everybody, can you guys give them a round of applause one more time? That was pretty awesome. Man. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, welcome, welcome to CSL Kauai, Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Charles. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees and try to help out as much as I can around here. And today I'm going to help out by giving you guys the morning announcements. Please fill up your coffee, tea, or water now so we cannot break the sacred space and atmosphere we are creating. And also, please turn off your cell phones. Oh, gotta turn off the cell phone. Goodness gracious, turn it off now. Oh, look at that. Boom, already off. Perfect. Okay. I love all you guys, by the way. Each and every one of you guys. I love you guys so much. All right, so it is the Sacred Circle Dance tonight. It's an interfaith event. It's today from 6:30 to 8:30. Come join Doreen Bree Love
And Doug Clyde.
Hey, for an evening of spiritual connection as we are guided in simple dance steps to songs inspired by words from multiple sacred traditions.
Yes,
I can't wait.
And the song we just sang, we're going to do that to dance. Ooh. Yes, the one we just sang. Yep.
Gonna do that sacred hokey pokey.
Oh yeah, sacred hokey pokey. Watch out.
Let's get it. This Tuesday, June 25th, from 6:30 to 8. The monthly meet and greet highlighting Tony Robbins, ladies and gentlemen, facilitated by somebody that's just as dynamic, Rev Patrick, right here. an, an evening of delving into the mind and work of this dynamic, powerful, and transformative, inspirational speaker and author, a guy that has by far changed my life. Turn it off. Turn it off. Cell phones, I tell you, turn it off. By far has changed my life with many principles and different ways to connect with my power and to unleash that power, as you guys will know who have read that book. I got the Ultimate Relationship Package, which helped me so much as a man and just being the person that I want to be for a woman as well. Absolutely phenomenal guy. If you haven't seen his movie on Netflix, I'm Not Your Guru, make sure you check that out before I give you a little taste of it. He doesn't always speak like that in the movie, by the way. The Spiritual Center. From the classic life-changing book made into a movie, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior with Nick Nolte, this Friday, June 28th at 6:30 p.m., discussion and popcorn afterwards. Of course it's going to be popcorn. Popcorn during, okay? Discussion afterwards. No discussion during. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, to be vulnerable and honest with you guys, the way of the I was just this kid from Cincinnati, from the what we call the hood, and The Way of the Peaceful Warrior was the first book that I read that got me on this personal development and spiritual journey, and then was The Alchemist. So this was a wonderful book and an absolutely wonderful movie as well. I can't wait until Friday, and it's a time for recommitment. Sunday, July 7th at 9 a.m. Litgate Large Pavilion. We have big news. The silent auction is back, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Emma, everybody please get up, Emma. Emma is facilitating it. Oh, also Miss Sue Wood and the team right here. The whole squad. They have been doing such an amazing job, and we're so happy and we're so proud that you have been doing this with the auction. And there's a table in the back, and it will show some of the different items. And also, if you have any questions, please ask this beautiful lady, this beautiful soul. And also, we need plenty of help with the whole birthday celebration. So please sign up in the back with Ron Stover or me or anybody out here that helps. And also, there's only 1 week to donate those auction items. If you have anything that you want to auction, I just gave something to auction. So let's please let's give a helping hand to CSL. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I give you our spiritual directors, Rev Rita and Rev Patrick.
Aloha. You're offering us up.
Yeah.
Is that how it's going to work?
So,
Go ahead.
what, you have something to say?
I do have just a little bit of a disclaimer here. There has been a rumor going around the community that Reverend Patrick was seen in Lihue with a tutu. Now, I want all of you to rest assured that rumor is absolutely true. And just go to Facebook, and I'm going to tell you something. It takes a real man to put on a tutu, just so you'll know. And in that Pride Parade yesterday, I said yes to it. Yes.
Yeah. And next year I'll be dressing him because I think I can do a lot better than the tutu. I'm thinking something long and flowing, little spandex. I've dressed him before.
Wow.
All right. With that,
I can tell your imaginations are just going wild with me right now.
One of the things that's so wonderful about what's happening in our center now is that we are having so many beautiful people step up into leadership. And Emma, thank you for stepping up to be the fundraising committee leader, and all of you that did that. I mean, it's just amazing. For me, it's like a demonstration. It is a demonstration, a decision to heal, which is what we're talking about today. So I'd like to invite Reverend Diane up, who is our outreach director and who was really responsible for what happened yesterday. And I just want to honor her for that and let her say a few words. Yay! About Pride.
Say a few words about Pride. We had such an amazing time yesterday. It was a very, very successful outreach into the community to let people know that they are welcome in this place. Yes? Yes. I see some faces of people who stopped by the table. Thank you for joining us this morning. And we just had so much fun. Somebody told me this morning that just the energy at the stadium while we were getting lined up, during the parade, as we were greeted as we rounded the corner by the grandstand, it was so, I'm having trouble even telling you what it felt like to be accepted and honored for the very first time in a Pride event like this on Kauai. Yes? And I'm so grateful that CSL Kauai was a part of it. So thank you to everybody here who participated, and I appreciate you. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, you might as well keep this because you're going to be up here. Oh, okay.
So with that beautiful, beautiful centering of this time, that every week we take some time to just sit in peace. And our belief, and I don't know if it's yours, but I know that my belief is that peace starts right here where we are first, and then it can go out. Yesterday was a very peaceful, wonderful day, and I had a few phone calls that some pride is going on all over the country today and in New York, and how beautiful to get some calls that said, can you please keep us? Keep us in your peace meditation this morning, because there's still some fear happening in the bigger cities about expressing yourself. So I said I would be more than glad to tell you that, so that when we take our moment of silence for peace, that we keep everyone in our hearts this morning. Thank you. So it is.
And now Reverend Diane will lead us in our time of contemplation.
As we continued from this place of divine centeredness, and just settle yourself into your seats and allow the quiet that is within you always to come forward. There is a spiritual wealth of healing power within you, waiting your affirmative call upon it. It begins its perfect work when you decide to be health and think as health would think. Enjoy your time in the silence. There is a spiritual wealth of healing power within you, waiting upon your affirmative call. It begins its perfect work when you decide to be health and to think as health would think. Knowing in this moment as we are fully centered in this place within us, that there is only one power, one presence, one love, and it is moving in and through each one of us in all of its wholeness and perfection. That right where each one of us is, the divine is, the presence is, the love is, the wholeness is, the perfection is, the peace is, the abundance is, the joy is. And because it is everywhere present, I know that it is right where I am. And it is right where each one of us is. And so I speak this word now from that place of knowing the truth, that God is expressing through me, as me right now. And so I know that as I decide to be health, my body responds with the healing energy of spirit coursing through my very veins. It is as close as my breath, this healing presence, the divine energy flowing through. And anything unlike that divine pattern of perfection is now released from the body temple. And health is possible with the decision to be health. And so I now think like health thinks. And my body responds with vibration of energy and flow and flexibility and strength. And I am so grateful for it. And as this divine energy is flowing in and through me, I know it affects the way I think. It affects my creative expression in the world, that right where I am given new ideas, divine ideas, of new and interesting ways to express in the world and bring more abundance into my life than I might have ever known before. And so I give thanks that being centered in the flow of abundance, I give and I receive and I receive and I give, and there's no end to it. I am centered in the wholeness of spirit. And as my mind and my body are healed, I express myself as love in the world and joy in the world. And that vibration goes out to absolutely heal those around me. And not just those of my friends and my family, but this healing vibration is felt throughout the world. It goes out from this place to heal, prosper, and bless. I give so much thanks for knowing that it is within each one of us, that we carry it with us everywhere we go. And as we shine this light in our own lives and in the world, we absolutely change the world for the better. We are that place of peace. We are that place of love. We are that place of joy. We are that place of well-being, and it shows. With such gratitude in my heart, I know that there's not a single thing I need to say more than that, because it is done. It is done in the mind of God. And so I release my word to the law that absolutely takes this word and manifests it in the right and perfect way for each one spoken for today. Healing, prospering, and blessing the world. And so it is. Mahalo.
Thank you, Diane, Reverend Diane.
Well, I think we can go home now. Wow, this is just getting better and better.
I know what you're thinking. I want what she's having, right? Yeah.
And we can all have that. Hi, Kyle. All right, so if you just walked in, or if you've never been here before, or if you're here every Sunday, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, where we practice the science of mind and spirit, a great universal truth that just says, We are what Diane said, Reverend Diane. We are the power and presence of Source. We are the love and light that we sang about. We are that. That is what we are, and our only job is to reveal it. And so that's what we do here at Center for Spiritual Living, and take it out into our lives. That's the most important thing, that it doesn't stay within these walls, that it goes out with us as we walk into our experiences, our everyday experiences, and are still able to shine that light and be our authentic self and live from that place and treat our affairs from that place. So welcome. I'm grateful you're here.
Welcome, welcome.
Reverend Paula is here
Yes.
from Colorado. Yay.
Yes, it's,
Yay. Welcome.
wow, I'll tell you, just this atmosphere in this room is just incredible right now. It's just, you can almost eat it like ice cream. But anyway, I digress. Who is here for the very first time? And if you are, we recognize you because, why? Because of your shell necklace. So, so I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. And there's nothing to get nervous about, because we're here, and today's a very good day for you, and it's a really good day for us because you're here. And that I do know. But I also know something else about you that I want to share with everyone so they can get to know you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is what we know about you. Shall we all share that with them? Okay, right. Okay. You are magnificent.
You are.
Woo! And we know that about you because your friends told us, but no, we really know that about you because we know it about ourselves. Because how could I know your magnificence if I don't know my own? It would be absolutely impossible. But it's now possible because we know that. So shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. Oh, and if you thought that it just stayed in this room, you are so wrong. Because behind you, there's this camera that's zooming back and forth, just taking in all the atmosphere, taking in all your expressions. I'm kidding, it's from the behind. They don't. But there's some people. There's some people watching today, and they're on the mainland, and they're even closer than that. Some are on Kaua'i, because they didn't want to get out of bed, because 9 a.m. is really early for a lot of people. And we heard that yesterday at our booth, but guess what? It's okay, because they can see us here, and I bet you they're peeking in today to go, I wonder what those people at the table are really all about. Now they'll know because they're there. So because they are watching, how do we look? Just asking. Yep. I just want to let you know I am like this all the time. So choose for yourself. But we know something about you too, and that is you are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right. I don't care where you look. Let somebody know that they are magnificent. You are magnificent. Doug's magnificent. Luis is magnificent.
Yay.
You are. Uh-oh. Now it's time to get up on
our feet.
Magnificent feet for our opening song. Yes. With Doreen and Doug. Something's amazing.
I am ready to create. I am ready to create. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. 'Cause something sacred is awakened in me. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. 'Cause something sacred is awakened in me.
And what I know in this sacred moment called now, this now that has never, ever happened before, and it will never happen again in the exact same way. That is how unique, that is how sacred this moment is that is called now. And I celebrate each and every one of us coming together, not by accident, but on absolute divine purpose. We are absolutely at that point, that center of that thing called love, and it just keeps growing and expanding and allowing its magnificent self to move through each and every one of us. And I know that this is the time to decide not only to accept the healing, but to accept the love. Not just in this room, but globally, all around. Yesterday, the perfect example of allowing love to come up and be known, just like this island did thousands of years ago. It came up to say, I am here, I am here. Can I hear everybody say that? I am here. And with that, I know that I am love. And I know that each and every person is love. And this, the celebration goes on moment to moment to moment, just continuing to express itself as love. So let's have at it, shall we? Let's let this day, let this time begin, and we just know that it is so, as together we know it is so by saying, and so it is.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to create. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to create. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. And something sacred is awakened in me. 'Cause something amazing is changing in me. And something sacred is awakened in me.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I still haven't gotten used to talking right after. It always feels like something's supposed to happen first. Hi. I see all these like faces, some I haven't seen in a while, and it's so great. Some I see every week, some I've never seen before. We're all here just for one thing, and that's to express life. However we're expressing it, that's really how we're here. Why we're here? We're here to express life. That's what's moving through us, life. And we get to express it in any way that we want. And that is what this teaching is all about, that we get to express life in any way we want. How does that feel? So it's a decision how we want to express life. And I don't want to candy coat anything today when I talk, because one of my favorite topics is healing. That's what we are. We're a healing and a teaching philosophy. That's the only reason we're here, is to reveal. And what is healing? Someone asked me before this service started. It's not about fixing our bodies. It's not about fixing our finances. It's not about fixing anything, because nothing's wrong. It is about revealing what's already there. That's this whole basis of this truth. That's why yesterday was so powerful. That was already there. All those people, all of us together wanting this thing to be out in the open, to be able to be who we are, our authentic selves, no matter what that is, happened yesterday because we all made a decision to have it happen. And then what happens when we make a decision? The universe backs us 100% of the way. And I heard somebody say, we didn't know if it was going to happen. You know, we have those fears sometimes about stuff. But when we make a decision for something to happen, then we are backed. We are backed 100% by a universe. But we have to make the decision first. So I want to tell you a little story. I was going to read it to you, and Patrick's like, it's so long. But, we talk to each other about it. But there's this, we talk, and then we decide, and then we do whatever we want anyway. So, and the reason I want to read it to you And I think this story is about health, healing of health. This is a picture of our founder, Ernest Holmes. And if you don't know who he is, he was definitely a mystic and definitely a great teacher and author of thousands of essays and books and all kinds of things. And his only purpose on this planet was for us to realize how powerful we were and to bring that power into our lives. And I don't think people realize what a healer he was too. And in fact, I heard a story once where he had jammed his finger in the car door. I heard the story because I met the man that was there with him when it happened. And he had jammed his finger in the car door, and his finger was all bloody, and he just touched it, and it was healed. And the person said, "Oh, how did you do that?" And he said, "That's the way it works." Because this man was so, as others, he's not the only one, was so convicted that he wasn't doing the healing, that there was a power within him that healed. That is what we're talking about in this teaching. And I think some of the times we get stuck in the condition of whatever's going on in our life, and we try to fix it, like we said before, from the outside. But it's the power that fixes it. It's the power within us that heals us. It's not us trying to heal ourselves. So this little story was a while back, I'm presuming, and it's titled "He Was Too Fat," which is an interesting title when you see what I'm going to tell you. And this is written by Ernest Holmes. When I sat down beside him, my first thought was, what a very fat boy. He was about 16 and was in a very critical condition. This boy happened to be a Catholic, but of course, it makes no difference what anyone's particular religious conviction is. The average Catholic has very childlike trust, which is wonderful to build on. Theological differences play no part whatsoever in scientific, spiritual mind healing. So I don't care where you come from, what you believe, it has nothing to do with spiritual mind healing. As a matter of fact, I was glad the boy was a devout Catholic, for at least he had some faith to lay hold of. He had received a serious injury to his kidneys in an automobile accident and was thought he could not possibly live. The nurse told me that he was gradually filling up with water. We all know what the end result of that condition would be. I had long talked with him on my first visit and discovered that he had already been told that he could not live but a short time. He was an interesting lad with not too much education, but there never seemed to be anything morbid about him. I remember asking him on my first visit if he thought he was going to die, and he said, "I suppose so." "Well," I said, "are you afraid to die?" What a great question, right? He said, "Oh no, I've lived a clean life, and of course I believe in immortality." So we talked about that for quite a bit, and I was thoroughly convinced that he had no fear of making his transition. I told him I thought it was more in the nature of resurrection, that I felt when people leave the world, they immediately go on to another objective environment and continue on much as they were in this. That I didn't think there was anything to be afraid of. He agreed, and he felt that everything would be well with him. So here he is. He's ready to go. He's really already healed because he's ready to go. Well, that is where the case rested. But just before I got up to leave, he said, "But Mr. Holmes, why should I have to die at this time? Why couldn't I be well and live a normal, natural life?" But I said, "Haven't you been told that your time is near at the end?" And yes, he said, "But somehow or other, I do not believe it." I pointed out to him that he had received a very severe injury to his kidneys and that there was no human hope for his recovery. I love this part. "Yes," he said, "Mr. Holmes, but I thought you believed in something different." "You know, my aunt, who is a nurse and who is taking care of me, goes to your lectures, and she told me that she is confident that I can be healed." "And do you wish so greatly to get well?" I asked him. "Of course," he said. "Why shouldn't I? I have the same desires that any other boy would have. I would like to be well and happy and do all those things a person naturally should do in this world." And just what, I asked, do you think would be the power that could heal you? His reply was most revealing. He said, "Something made my body, didn't it?" "Yes," I answered. "Well, that's God, isn't it?" he asked. "Well, of course, God makes everything," I said. His next remark was excellent, and really what I had been waiting for, hoping to get, and somehow or subconsciously I expected him to say just what he did say, which was this. I love this. If God made my kidneys in the first place, why couldn't he remake them? And this is happening all over the world right now, this idea. This transcends this experience. Now, what would you do in that case, a case like that, he says to himself. You couldn't very well say no. Therefore, you would have to say, yes, of course God can make as many kidneys as he wishes to. This may all seem like childlike prattle, but remember, this boy was at death's door, and he was afraid. He was dying, and it didn't seem to matter so much to him, but somehow the age-old question popped up in his imagination. What is all this about anyway? I said to him, let us believe that God is going to heal you. Let us believe that the Spirit in you is going to eliminate everything from your physical body which doesn't belong to it. Well, we set to work on this proposition, taking the line of thought that whatever there was in him that didn't belong would be eliminated, and that every natural and normal channel for this elimination was in complete and full force. I worked on this thought that since the Spirit had created proper organs for elimination, these organs must be spiritual, and of course, Spirit cannot fail to properly function. The physical manifestation of this divine idea may have been impaired, but its subjective image can never be destroyed. Anyway, the story goes on, and the boy healed. But it didn't happen overnight. It took several months, and it took him getting worse before he got better. He would get better, and then he would get worse. But in the end, he healed. Now, at the end, Ernest Holmes says, do you call this a miracle? And he says, is it a miracle? Or is it just the normal process of this power within us when we make a decision? Now, why do some people heal and some people don't? All people heal. All people heal. But the demonstration can be different for each and every person. It might be transcending. I know for my own mother, her choice was to transcend, and it was her choice. I know it for a fact. She said it to me. Not in those words, but she said it in her covert way that she was going and that she had decided to go. So is any of it bad? No, nothing in it is bad. It's all good. Oh my God, this has been such a great week. We had this opportunity to listen to Mark Nepo talk and I'm trying to get the video so we can watch it here for an hour, over an hour. And one of the things he said was that we're each given a great gift when we come here. And it's our job to honor that gift and let it teach us. We're all given gifts throughout this life. Gifts, they're all gifts because our only objective is to go back to first cause, to go back to that power that's never been touched by anything. And we get these gifts, but instead, we go sometimes to the outside, and I see this over and over as a minister, trying to fix it on the outside, and we cannot fix it on the outside. We have to go within and heal what needs to be healed within and be willing. The three things that Ernest says are faith, conviction, and acceptance. Faith. That little boy had faith first, right? Faith comes first, a belief that something bigger than you is working behind the scenes, a faith that there's a power, faith that I can be healed, faith. And then conviction is sticking with it, no matter what shows up. No matter what. If you listen to any healing story from anybody, they'll say they had to stick with it. It doesn't happen overnight all the time. I know that for myself. I had to stick with it when I was sick. I had to stick with it and say, no, this is not what I want right now. And that was my choice, right? Conviction, no matter what looks on the outside. And then acceptance. I think this is the big one. Surrender, acceptance, whatever you want to call it. Acceptance, to allow yourself to accept that you are magnificent and that your body is as magnificent as you are, your finances are as magnificent, this ability to express is as magnificent as you are. It's all an expression of you, and you're letting your authentic self out right here and right now and allowing it to express. You're not thinking about all the reasons it can't happen. You're just focused on that. It's expressing God, expressing light, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, source, expressing it, letting it out, and let it have its way with you. That's what we're doing. So, there's a quote that I found from Dr. Bruce Lipton. Does anybody know who he is? Amazing scientist, amazing, now very spiritual in his teachings. And he says, your mind, consciousness is what he's talking about, is more powerful than any disease. Any disease. Okay, he's talking about the physical body, but I'm talking about all disease. Never let a disease own your consciousness. Never let a disease own your consciousness and drag you down to its vibration. Never let a disease own your consciousness and drag you down to its vibration. Keep your energy positive, and your body can't help but respond. Keep your energy positive, and your body can't help but respond. The moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. I don't know about you guys, but this gives me such hope, and in a good way, hope and expectancy, as we talk about in class, right? Not hope like with doubt in it, but just a knowing that we are on the verge right now of something really amazing happening in this species called humans. We are divine, and I think we're finally finding that out. But the more we don't hide who we are, and the more we put ourselves out there as who we are, and let go of all these things that burden us and hold us down, these things that are just, they're just thoughts. They don't own us. They don't own us. We are the thinker. We are the believer. We are the light. We are all that is good. We are perfect. We are everything. So there's nothing we can't do. And I'm just grateful to know that. And I'm grateful to stand here and be able to say it. So thank you for all you do in each of your individual lives, because I see it. I see so many people stepping up and living their life in a more fuller way than they ever have before. And that's so amazing. So thank you. Namaste. Thanks. I didn't read the whole story.
In my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life, I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love, you're perfect, you're golden. You're my light, my love. When I dream, when I swallow, caress music out of nowhere. You're perfect. You're golden. You're light. You're love. You're perfect. You're golden. You're my light, my love. Light, 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 when I'm sad and so dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other. Oh, you're perfect. You're golden. You're the light of my life. You're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. And you in me. Whoa, light, 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 you're always there. You never leave. You're holding me. You set me free. Your guiding light. Your empathy. Your confidence to express in an as me. You're perfect. You're golden. You're the light of my life. You're my love for forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing I'm perfect. And I'm golden. You're the light of my life. You're my love for forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. And you in me. Oh, oh. Light, 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 light. Sing with me. Light, 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 light. You're perfect, golden light, my love. You're perfect, golden light, my love. Turn Turn to somebody. Tell them, you're perfect, golden light, my love. Turn to someone else. Tell them the truth. You're perfect, golden light, my love. Put your hand on your heart. Sing to yourself. Perfect, golden light, my love. One more time to yourself. I'm perfect, golden light, my love.
You're perfect. You're golden. Perfect and golden. There we go. Wow. The atmosphere just keeps getting deeper and deeper in here. It's beautiful. This lovely subject of healing. It just moves the soul, doesn't it? It can go so many directions, doesn't it? When you really think of this healing and how much time we spend on it. We spend a lot of time on it. And that's okay. But there's even more. And I'm the one that's going to tell you about that right here and right now. I was listening to myself, which I know you find hard to believe, but I cannot believe the stuff I say to me. But here's the deal. This was a question that came in my meditation. Do we have a desire to heal or a desire to fix? And I went, could you repeat that? And it did. Do we have a desire to heal or a desire to fix? And that hit me at a core that I have never felt before in my 33 years of living. That was not a joke line, by the way. Or do we just fix the current dilemma in the name of healing? And I had to really think that. I had to really feel that. Because once again, in this position, we are protectors of everyone. When you stand in the light up here, and people are experiencing you, they're experiencing it just where they are in that moment. God bumps here. So what does that mean? And I thought of a line from Jesus being raised Catholic and knowing a lot of the scriptures and stuff. I remember that part of Jesus when he said, move through with love and sin no more. Actually, I put the move through love, but he said sin no more. And what that means for me isn't that you were a sinner, so that's why you got sick or why you have poverty or whatever's going on. It means turn away from the very thing that you've been thinking that has allowed this to enter in or around your experience. Sin no more. Move ahead and heal. Sometimes we wonder why, at least I've healed and then it returns, right? Oh, it returned because I turned around and started bringing up the past and bringing up the very thing that I needed to for me to just sit with it. Someone said to me the other day, actually about a year ago, they said to me, I don't like the word treatment because that makes me think there's something wrong with me. And that is kind of why we're treating. Just so you'll know, this isn't, your family here. We'll put on our big boy and big girl pants. We're in a treatment session because something is needing to be known, or we would not be there. So let's get that right out on the table, and any guilt, shame, any of that comes up, let's just leave it outside the door of our mind for this time together, for the next 2 or 3 hours. What I want to express is that to get past this idea that there's something wrong with the fact we're healing. For me, every moment is a healing experience. I am healing as I speak to you. I am healing from this place, or we would not all be sitting here. So healing is revealing, and we try to, make it nice, and call it. If something is going on in consciousness that is not serving your life, then we need to find the healing. And that's okay. There's no more shame, no guilt, pretending it didn't happen. It is, and I don't really care why it happened. Does it really matter? We were with a beautiful gentleman this week who's going through a lot of physical experience. I don't care where it came from. I'm not there to do that. I'm there to sit with you right where we are. And yesterday, as it comes up a lot, was just a perfect idea of that idea of something coming into fruition. Tony Robbins, who I've been, by the way, let's talk Tony for just 1 second. He seems to have a kind of an interesting, response from the kind of New Thought community. It's kind of like, how did he get in there? And, basically judgment. But this is what I found out about Tony by sitting and listening to a lot of his videos yesterday. He's only going to the material world with you, with whoever pays the $5,000 to have 3 days with him. He's only going to the material first because that's where everybody seems to be. Or there wouldn't be 10,000 people in the audience. 10,000 people are saying, I'm tired of whatever it is that's going on in my life. And so before I kind of had a little judgment like, oh, Tony, is he as spiritual as, Yes, actually he is. He's just doing it the other way. Once you come in the material, then he steps in and says, do you know who you are? And then everybody goes, oh, because they feel safe going in with the, yeah, say yes, and all of that stuff. Tony says this, the power of positive thinking is the ability to generate a feeling of certainty in yourself, listen closely, when nothing in the environment supports you. The power of positive thinking is the ability to generate a feeling of certainty in yourself when nothing in the environment supports you. Okay, let's breathe that in for a second. When you're in pain, whether it be physical, whether it be your finances, whether it be in that relationship, whether it be in not being able to be creative when that's what you want, when we're right there and everything is telling us, there's no way, man. That's what I got from Tony. They told him, no way, man. And he said, I want to find out, how do you bring the invisible into the visible? And I'm going to turn up every stone. I will read every book. I will take speed reading so that I can get in another book. And I will ask every single person in the world, how did you heal? How did you heal? And then I will take notes, and I will keep taking notes, and then I will share them with you. And I'm going to charge you money for them because that was a lot of time I spent interviewing the people that you did not. I spent a lot of time. My whole thing, if you got nothing to do Tuesday at 6:30, please be here because I have a whole other, he was so boring the way I had him in my mind until I got to know him the last couple days. Tony says, you don't get hungry for food. When he was so poor and could not even, he just tells endless stories and there's so much fun. When he said that he would go out to Denny's and, with the girl and he would pray she wouldn't order something, really expensive because he had already, that was it. And so what's that about? He said, but then I found out this. I was never hungry for food. I was hungry for meaning. I was hungry for purpose. And all we have to do is find the value. That's what we say here. We find the value of who and what we are and our contribution to one another. That's where we feed our soul. And then we can erase all that guilt about, I was sick and I didn't have this and I don't have money. And it was an interesting thing. Then that's the last Tony reference till Tuesday. Here's the thing. He was saying that all he knew is that if he wasn't poor, the people would love him. That's why people didn't love him. That's why his dad left. That's why his mother couldn't handle on her 9th relationship. That's why, because if I could just be like the rich people, then I would be loved. And he's not alone. We've all felt if I could just be that, then I would be accepted. I would be lovable. And then he became very rich, as you know, and many have judged. Oh, money, 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 money. When you find out the foundations that that man has around this world, feeding this world, it'll take your breath away. This is my new finding, this guy. So he said when he came back to his friends, and he's got millions, let's go to Egypt. Let's go on a camel race. Let's do this. Let's be everything that we can because I found out how. I found out there's a way not to be poor. Guess what, you guys? Let's go. And they said, Tony, is that all you're into is money? And he found in that moment that now he wasn't loved because he was rich. And he was so confused. Okay, now I'm rich and you're going to all love me. Oh, Tony. Money, money, money. They say, are you into money? He says, no. I'm just not into poverty anymore. I'm just not into poverty anymore. I've switched my consciousness. Yesterday, too, 50 years in the making, as Reverend Walt would have said on Facebook. 50 years in the making, when 50 years ago at Stonewall, that someone made a decision that enough is enough. And this is my last rant for the day. Probably not. But so 50 years ago, a group of people said, no more. I am here, just like what we said in the opening. I am here. I am here. And I'm not going to apologize anymore for that. And so a decision was made. Another decision was made on December 1st, 1955, when Rosa Parks decided, okay, I've been putting up with this, and here's a little FYI on Rosa. This wasn't the first time that she ever experienced a little confrontation with the bus driver. Pretty much every time she got on the bus. But we have December 1st because December 1st is when Rosa Parks made a decision. 50 years ago, they made a decision that enough is enough. That I will not go to the back of the bus any longer. I am made in the image and the likeness and the lovingness of Spirit itself. I do not sit in the back of the bus. And so that moment arose, and it was coming, and it was coming, and it was coming, and finally it rose up. And it happened. A decision was made. Enough is enough. And that is the decision that I know that we are able, we don't have to go into sitting on buses and going, whatever our stuff is. It doesn't have to be a grandstand thing. It can mean that today is the day. This is the moment that I decide to be all that I am. This is the day that I am not going to live any longer in limitation and lack. This is the day that I'm going to throw judgment out of the door. This is the day that I'm going to stand in front of everyone and say, I am God. And does that bother you? Yes, it does bother some people. And let me let you know, you will get over it. Because once you're done judging me, you'll go back to the most important thing in most people's life is yourself anyway. And that's okay. That's okay. A new level of evolution has appeared in your spiritual director, by the way. Just when I think that I'm okay, I'm going to plateau for a moment, no, the plateau is over. We have something really powerful to decide today. And that is that we are love. And we don't have to have a parade. The parade starts the moment you open your eyes. And the next time we open our eyes in the morning and we make a decision not to drag yesterday in, not to drag my little boy who I talk a lot about because of the inner child work. And Mark Nepo says, go ahead, talk to your inner child. They have much to teach you. Much to teach you. So I'm going to semi-end right here with a quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza. I bet you wonder sometimes what it's like to live inside of me. Or not. We should never wait for science to give us permission to do the uncommon. If we do, then we are turning science into another religion. We should be brave enough to contemplate our lives, do what we thought was outside the box, and do it repeatedly. When we do that, we are on our way to a greater level of personal power. Personal power. It starts with personal power. It starts with a decision. And I invite you, wherever you are on this great day, in this moment that has never happened before, I invite you to take something in your life. Take something in your life and fully embrace it. And know that there is nothing. Oh my God, 50 years ago, you guys, they said enough is enough. This is our day to decide to say enough is enough. No more limitations, no more lack. And when our environment isn't supporting us, when your conditions aren't supporting us, and when we're lying there in pain, trying to understand what the hell happened, there is something happening. There is Spirit, there is God, there is this incredible loving presence that is just cradling us and saying, you are not alone, you are lovable, you are lovable, you are lovable, and you can never have enough money, you can never have enough this, you can never lose enough weight, you can never do any of that to be accepted in society or anywhere else. Today is the day that we decide to love ourselves first. Today, not tomorrow morning, not after the next workshop, not after the next book, not after the next whatever we have, bagels out there. It doesn't happen after that. It happens right now, today, in this moment, now. Namaste.
That was great. Yay, we're on a roll today.
Here we are.
Good roll. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Yay. I think we're doing really good. So this is our time of giving. And just remember, when you give here, you give twice, because we are a tithing organization, and we tithe out. From here, we tithe to people that spiritually nourish us. We tithe to organizations that spiritually nourish us and the island, the world. We are a tithing organization, so 10% of what you give here goes out. So in reality, you're giving twice. So thank you for what you give today. And let's go for it. As the ushers, wherever they are, the Malama team, come forward.
All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. For it all. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Na 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 na, grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, and I open up my heart, and my gratitude goes out everything near and far. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all.
Thank you, Doug and Doreen. Thank you, everyone. Let's bless it. I have given freely and joyously from the abundance of my overflowing wealth. I know my gift grows with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai, my life and the world. And so it is. Hey. And as the kids are coming up, I want to just talk a little bit about the jar over there. We have over $10,000 in our expansion fund. Most of it came from that jar. So we're calling it our expansion fund now because we're going to the next step. So we had the opportunity to meet with Sadasivanatha Swami at the Hindu monastery, and he really calmed us because we were like thinking we had to jump really big. And we sat there and we said, no, we have to do this next. And we just came with this idea that the next step is for us to have room for these beautiful children out of the kitchen. So we've been looking for an extra space that maybe we can put them with Janice and whoever is watching them, George, so that we can have a really comfortable space. So that might be the next step, just finding another space that's near us. And we have several things coming up that people have. As soon as we opened up, of course, the phone started ringing, right? But look at all these kids, right? They're amazing. So George, you must have had a really great day.
Yes, we had a great day. They talked about neighbors and then neighbors around the world. Show your thing, please. Talk about respect and everything else. I tried to get somebody to talk, but nobody would talk. So anyway, here's your beautiful children.
Thank you, George, and thank you, Janice, and thank you, children. So let's give them their. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. If you weren't here last week, this is Amaris, and she is Malia's new baby sister. And yes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she did. Yay! So they're waiting for their affirmation. Let's give it to them. Their blessing. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent, and we love you. Woo! Yay! Thank you. They can stay up and sing if they want. Yeah. Okay. You want to stay and sing with us? No? Okay. That's all right. Whatever. It's good.
Thanks for asking, right?
All right. Thanks for asking. All right. So maybe the practitioners would come forward, those that would like to serve today or are serving.
Doreen, you're serving?
Doreen, are you serving today? Doreen, Reverend Diane, Dr. Peggy, Rob back there. Oh, we got a good crew today. Roseanne.
Oh, good.
Malia, are you serving today or in the bookstore? I don't know. Ask Roseanne. Yeah, okay.
Come on
all
down.
right. Come on up, Malia. I guess Emma's going to the bookstore.
Come on
All
down.
right.
Let's make
so we
a
have
spiritual
lots.
treatment.
We have lots of powerful prayers here today,
Yes,
and
we do.
they would like to give you a taste, a taste like a Costco taste of what it is like to have a spiritual mind treatment. This is not a session. So what we would like is for you to come up and just let them know what's going on. Not a story, but I'm having problems with my finances. I'm having problems in my relationship, and that's all you need to tell them, and they will treat that corner. I just lost my job. They'll treat. All right. We don't want to hear stories. Save that. If you want to go deeper into the beliefs behind and all that stuff, then you need to have a session with them, and that's 45 minutes to an hour, and there's a charge for it. But so much can happen with just the decision to come up here and reveal the truth of who you are. So. That's it. I think we're done.
You ready?
You guys are ready? All right. Can you move over so we can see her then? That's okay.
This world that I live in reflects My desire's a world that works for everyone, a world where everyone thrives. I am love. I live my truth.
We can all stand on our magnificent
I stand
self.
for good. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide. It's a call from within, a place deep inside. I follow my heart and let my light shine. I am love. I live my truth. I walk in faith. I stand for good. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide.
So what I know about that right now is that I have decided. I have decided to know that I am the power and the presence of the Spirit of God of Source. And I have decided to know that that's what each and every one of you are in this moment, in every single solitary moment. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to know this truth. I'm grateful for everything that took place today. Oh, I'm so grateful for what was revealed today, knowing that deep within us there is something happening, something miraculous, something wonderful, and we have all caught hold of that today. I know and I claim. And I give thanks because of the people that were here today that stood up and served. I'm so grateful for each and every one of them that made it possible to be here today. Charles, Luis, DJ, and Sue Buckley, Rob Jones, and Jonathan Lee, Roseanne, Peggy, Emma, Ron Stover, and his team back there, Peter and Arlena for the flowers that we're always enjoying, Doreen, Doug, Luis, yay, Janice and George, who are so wonderful with our children, Sue Wood, Stephanie, who I guess are back there counting the beautiful donations, and for everyone offline that supports us and is watching today, we love you and we know you are perfect. You are golden. And I know that for each and every person here. And I know that we take what we got here today and we bring it out into our lives and we live it. So in gratitude, I just say, and so it is.
Okay, let's affirm all that good. Here we go. Repeat after me, okay? Peace, love, joy, abundance, peace, love, joy, abundance. It is mine. It is mine. It is mine. It is mine. Yeah, because all we have to do is decide, right? Sing with me, here we go. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide. I am ready. I am able. I decide. I decide. I decide. I decide. I decide.